Welcome to Wisdom Audiobooks. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly build wealth and happiness, while others struggle despite working just as hard? The answer lies not in how much money you make but in how you think about it. This audiobook reveals the hidden psychology behind money decisions, helping you master both wealth-building strategies and the art of living a fulfilling life. Introduction. The audiobook The Psychology of Money, Master the Art of Wealth and Happiness is written and published by Wisdom Audiobooks. Let's face it, money is one of the most powerful forces in our lives, yet so few of us truly understand how to manage it wisely. Many of you may be struggling with debt, feeling overwhelmed by financial uncertainty, or simply wondering how to balance wealth with happiness. You might also feel stuck between chasing material success and finding true meaning in life. These are real challenges that millions face every day, and they deserve thoughtful solutions. I know what it's like to feel lost when it comes to finances. Whether it's the stress of unpaid bills, the fear of an uncertain future, or the guilt of overspending, these emotions can weigh heavily on your mind. But here's the good news: you're not alone. Everyone has the potential to transform their relationship with money and create a life filled with abundance, security, and joy. As Warren Buffett once said, "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." This simple yet profound advice reminds us that financial success starts with a shift in mindset, a lesson we'll explore deeply in this audiobook. In the next hour, you'll discover practical tools, timeless principles, and actionable strategies to take control of your finances and align them with your personal values. You'll learn how to break free from limiting beliefs, avoid common pitfalls, and build wealth in a way that supports your long-term happiness. By the end of this journey, you'll have everything you need to make smarter decisions, achieve financial independence, and live a life of purpose. So, stay with me until the very last minute because each chapter is designed to empower you step by step. Your transformation begins right now. Your wisdom journey starts here. Chapter 1: Understanding the Psychology of Money. Money isn't just numbers, it's deeply tied to emotions, beliefs, and behaviors. In this chapter, we'll explore the psychological factors influencing your financial decisions. Why do some people make smart choices while others fall into traps? The answers lie in understanding how our minds work when it comes to money. By the end of this chapter, you'll have a clearer picture of why you handle money the way you do, and how to change it for the better. 1. The emotional relationship with money. Let's start by acknowledging an uncomfortable truth. Most of us don't think about money logically. Instead, we let our emotions drive our financial decisions. Fear, greed, guilt, excitement, these feelings can cloud our judgment and lead to costly mistakes. Take fear, for example. When markets crash or economies falter, fear often drives people to sell their investments at the worst possible time. As Peter Lynch, one of the greatest investors of all time, famously said, "Know what you own, and know why you own it." If you panic during downturns without understanding your investments, you're letting fear dictate your actions instead of logic. On the flip side, excitement can be equally dangerous. Ever felt the thrill of buying something new, a car, a gadget, or even a luxury vacation? That dopamine rush feels amazing in the moment, but it often leads to overspending and regret later. Research shows that impulse purchases account for nearly 40% of all spending, especially among younger adults who are still learning to manage their finances. Here's the key takeaway: to build wealth and happiness, you must learn to separate emotion from decision-making. Start by asking yourself before every purchase, "Is this adding real value to my life?" This simple question can help you avoid emotional spending and focus on what truly matters. 2. Common money mindsets that hold you back. Now, let's dive deeper into the mindsets that shape our financial behavior. Two of the most common, and damaging, mindsets are the scarcity mindset and the keeping up with the Joneses mentality. The scarcity mindset convinces you there will never be enough. People with this mindset hoard resources, live in constant anxiety about running out of money, and miss opportunities because they're too afraid to take risks. For example, someone might refuse to invest in stocks because they believe the market is too risky, even though historical data shows steady growth over time. Contrast this with the abundance mindset, which focuses on possibilities rather than limitations. Those with an abundance mindset see money as a tool for creating opportunities, not something to cling to out of fear. They understand that taking calculated risks can lead to greater rewards. But here's where things get tricky. Many of us also fall into the trap of trying to keep up with the Joneses. Social media has amplified this problem, making it easier than ever to compare ourselves to others. You scroll through Instagram, see someone flaunting their new house or exotic vacation, and suddenly feel inadequate. As Susie Orman, a renowned financial expert, puts it, "You aren't rich until you have something money can't buy." Chasing material possessions to impress others rarely brings lasting satisfaction. It's essential to define success on your own terms and ignore external pressures. To break free from these limiting mindsets, try this exercise. Write down 3 financial goals that align with your values, not society's expectations. Whether it's saving for retirement, traveling sustainably, or giving back to your community, having clarity will keep you grounded. 3. Reframing your beliefs about wealth. One of the biggest misconceptions about wealth is that it's solely about income. Yes, earning more money helps, but true wealth goes beyond your paycheck. It's about freedom, security, and the ability to live life on your own terms. Consider the story of Sarah, a woman who turned her financial struggles into triumph. A few years ago, Sarah was drowning in debt after losing her job during the pandemic. She had no savings, mounting bills, and little hope for the future. But instead of giving up, she decided to reframe her situation. Sarah started small by cutting unnecessary expenses and picking up freelance work online. Within months, she built a side hustle that eventually became her full-time career. More importantly, she shifted her perspective on wealth. Instead of focusing on short-term pleasures, she prioritized long-term stability. Today, Sarah not only enjoys financial independence but also volunteers her time mentoring others facing similar challenges. Stories like Sarah's remind us that wealth isn't just about accumulating assets, it's about creating a meaningful life. As Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, wisely stated, "It's not how much money you make, but how much money you keep, how hard it works for you, and how many generations you can keep it." So, how can you reframe your beliefs about wealth? Begin by visualizing the kind of life you want to live. What does financial freedom look like for you? Is it owning a home, starting a business, or simply having peace of mind? Once you have a clear vision, reverse engineer the steps needed to achieve it. Break those steps into manageable tasks and celebrate each milestone along the way. Another powerful technique is practicing gratitude. Studies show that grateful individuals tend to make smarter financial decisions because they appreciate what they already have. Before bed each night, write down 3 things you're thankful for related to your finances, even if it's as simple as having food on the table or a roof over your head. Over time, this practice will shift your focus from scarcity to abundance. Understanding the psychology of money is the first step toward mastering it. By recognizing the emotional drivers behind your decisions, breaking free from harmful mindsets, and reframing your beliefs about wealth, you're setting yourself up for success. Remember, building wealth isn't just about numbers, it's about creating a life filled with purpose and joy. As Maya Angelou once said, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you know better, do better." Now that you understand the psychological foundations of money, it's time to move forward and apply these insights to your daily life. In the next chapter, we'll delve into practical strategies for building strong financial foundations. Stay tuned. You're about to unlock the tools you need to take control of your financial future. Chapter 2: Building Strong Financial Foundations. Before mastering wealth, you need solid foundations. Think of your financial life as a house. Without strong walls and a sturdy roof, it's bound to collapse under pressure. In this chapter, we'll explore the essential steps for taking control of your finances and laying the groundwork for long-term success. By the end, you'll have actionable strategies to budget effectively, save smartly, and avoid debt traps that could derail your progress. 1. Budgeting like a pro. Let's start with the cornerstone of financial health: budgeting. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by bills or unsure where your money goes each month, a budget is your solution. It's not about restricting yourself, it's about giving every dollar a purpose. One of the simplest yet most effective budgeting frameworks is the 50/30/20 rule. Here's how it works. 50% for needs. Allocate half of your income toward essentials like housing, food, transportation, and healthcare. These are non-negotiable expenses necessary for survival. 30% for wants. Use 30% of your income for discretionary spending, things like dining out, entertainment, hobbies, and vacations. This category allows you to enjoy life while staying within limits. 20% for savings and debt repayment. Dedicate 20% of your income to building your future. This includes saving for emergencies, investing for retirement, and paying off existing debts. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. What if my needs already take up more than 50%? That's okay, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Start by tracking your spending for 1 month. Apps like Mint, Anab, You Need a Budget, or even a simple spreadsheet can help you see exactly where your money goes. Once you identify areas to cut back, adjust accordingly. As Dave Ramsey, a renowned financial expert, says, a budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. When you create a budget, you're taking charge of your financial destiny. Here's a quick exercise. Write down your top 3 financial priorities right now. Is it paying off credit card debt? Saving for a down payment on a house? Or perhaps building an emergency fund? Whatever they are, make sure your budget reflects these goals. 2. Saving smartly for future goals. Saving money isn't just about putting cash aside, it's about preparing for life's uncertainties and opportunities. One of the first things you should establish is an emergency fund. Why? Because unexpected expenses happen to everyone. A car repair, medical bill, or job loss can throw your finances into chaos if you're unprepared. Financial experts recommend saving at least 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses in your emergency fund. While this may sound daunting, remember that progress is better than perfection. Start small, even $500 can provide a safety net for minor emergencies. To stay consistent, consider automating your savings. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to a high-yield savings account each payday. Out of sight, out of mind, this method ensures you prioritize saving before spending. Here's a real-life example. Meet James, a young professional who struggled with inconsistent savings habits. After losing his job unexpectedly, he realized the importance of having a financial cushion. He started small, setting aside just $100 per paycheck. Within 2 years, had saved over $10,000, which gave him peace of mind during another career transition. James' story illustrates a crucial point: consistency beats intensity. You don't need to save massive amounts overnight, just commit to regular contributions. As author Morgan Housel puts it, wealth is created by suppressing what you could buy today in order to have more stuff or options in the future. Every dollar you save today is an investment in tomorrow's freedom. 3. Avoiding debt traps. Debt is one of the biggest obstacles to financial independence. While some forms of debt can be useful, good debt, others can cripple your finances, bad debt. Let's break it down. Good debt. This includes loans that help you build wealth or increase your earning potential, such as mortgages, student loans, in moderation, and business loans. For instance, buying a home with a reasonable mortgage can appreciate in value over time, making it a worthwhile investment. Bad debt, high-interest consumer debt, like credit cards and payday loans, often leads to financial distress. The interest rates on these debts can spiral out of control, leaving you trapped in a cycle of payments. If you're carrying bad debt, your priority should be eliminating it as quickly as possible. One popular strategy is the debt snowball method, popularized by Dave Ramsey. Here's how it works. 1. List all your debts from smallest to largest balance. 2. Pay the minimum payment on every debt except the smallest one. 3. Throw any extra money at the smallest debt until it's paid off. 4. Repeat the process with the next smallest debt, creating momentum like a rolling snowball. Another approach is the debt avalanche method, which focuses on paying off debts with the highest interest rates first. Both methods work. Choose the one that motivates you most. To prevent falling back into debt, adopt a cash-first mentality. Before making a purchase, ask yourself, can I afford this without borrowing? If the answer is no, wait until you can. As Warren Buffett advises, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. Prioritizing savings over debt will keep you on the path to financial freedom. Building strong financial foundations requires discipline, patience, and consistency. By mastering the art of budgeting, saving smartly, and avoiding debt traps, you're setting yourself up for long-term success. Remember, small actions add up over time. Whether it's sticking to a budget, growing your emergency fund, or tackling debt step by step, every effort counts. As Tony Robbins once said, success is doing the small things well consistently. Chapter 3: Investing Wisely for Long-Term Success. Investing is the bridge between earning and true financial freedom. While saving gives you stability, investing allows your money to grow exponentially over time. In this chapter, we'll demystify the world of investing, covering everything from basic concepts to advanced strategies. By the end, you'll understand how to make smart investment decisions, manage risks effectively, and build a portfolio that aligns with your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the power of compound interest, diversification, and disciplined planning. 1. Basics of investing. Before jumping into the stock market or any other investment vehicle, it's crucial to understand the fundamentals. Here are the key terms and tools every investor should know. Stocks. When you buy a stock, you're purchasing a small piece of ownership in a company. Stocks have historically provided some of the highest returns compared to other asset classes, but they also come with higher risk. Over the past century, the S&P 500, a benchmark index of large U.S. companies, has averaged annual returns of about 10%. However, short-term fluctuations can be volatile, so patience is essential. Bonds. Bonds are loans you give to governments or corporations in exchange for regular interest payments. They're generally safer than stocks but offer lower returns. Bonds are ideal for conservative investors who prioritize stability over growth. Mutual funds and index funds. These funds pool money from multiple investors to purchase a diversified portfolio of assets. Mutual funds are actively managed by professionals, while index funds track specific market indices, like the S&P 500. Index funds tend to have lower fees because they're passively managed, making them a favorite among long-term investors. Compound interest. This is where the magic happens. Compound interest means earning interest not only on your initial investment but also on the accumulated interest over time. Albert Einstein reportedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. To illustrate its power, imagine investing $5,000 annually at a $71 million, even though you only contributed $200,000. The lesson here? Start early. As Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's longtime business partner, once said, the big money is not in the buying or selling, but in the waiting. Patience and consistency are your greatest allies when it comes to investing. 2. Overcoming fear in investing. One of the biggest barriers to successful investing is fear. Whether it's fear of losing money, fear of making mistakes, or fear of the unknown, these emotions can paralyze us and prevent us from taking action. Let's address these fears head-on. Fear of loss. It's natural to worry about losing money, especially during market downturns. But history shows that markets recover over time. For example, after the 2008 financial crisis, the S&P 500 lost nearly 50% of its value. Yet, within 5 years, it had rebounded and reached new highs. The key is to focus on the long term rather than short-term volatility. Fear of mistakes. No one gets investing right 100% of the time, not even the experts. What separates successful investors from others is their ability to learn from mistakes and stay disciplined. If you're unsure where to start, consider low-cost index funds. These require minimal effort and still deliver solid returns over time. Fear of the unknown. Many people avoid investing because they don't understand it. But knowledge dispels fear. Start by educating yourself through books like The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham or podcasts hosted by financial experts. Remember, as Jack Bogle, founder of Vanguard, famously said, "Time is your friend, impulse is your enemy." Take your time to research and make informed decisions. To overcome fear, adopt a mindset of calculated risk-taking. For instance, instead of putting all your money into individual stocks, spread it across different asset classes, stocks, bonds, real estate, etc. This strategy, known as diversification, reduces risk by ensuring that poor performance in one area doesn't wipe out your entire portfolio. 3. Creating a personalized investment plan. Now that you understand the basics and have addressed common fears, let's create an investment plan tailored to your unique needs. Follow these steps. Step 1. Define your goals. Ask yourself, what am I investing for? Is it retirement, buying a home, funding your child's education, or achieving financial independence? Be specific about timelines and amounts. For example, if you want to retire in 30 years with $1 million, calculate how much you need to save monthly based on expected returns. Step 2. Assess your risk tolerance. Your risk tolerance depends on factors like age, income, and personality. Younger investors can afford to take more risks since they have time to recover from losses. Older investors may prefer safer options like bonds or dividend-paying stocks. A simple way to gauge your risk tolerance is to imagine a 20% drop in your portfolio's value overnight. Would you panic and sell everything, or would you stay calm and hold on to your investments? Use this thought experiment to guide your decisions. Step 3. Build a diversified portfolio. Diversification is the golden rule of investing. Spread your investments across various asset classes to minimize risk. A typical balanced portfolio might include 60% in stocks, domestic and international, 30% in bonds, 10% in alternative assets like real estate or commodities. If you're unsure how to allocate your assets, consider using robo-advisors like Betterment or Wealthfront. These platforms use algorithms to create and manage diversified portfolios based on your goals and risk tolerance. Step 4. Stay disciplined and rebalance regularly. Once you've built your portfolio, resist the urge to constantly check it or make impulsive changes. Stick to your plan unless your circumstances change significantly. At least once a year, review your portfolio and rebalance it if necessary. This involves selling assets that have grown too large a portion of your portfolio and reinvesting in underrepresented areas. Here's a real-life story to inspire you. Meet Maria, a single mother who started investing in her late 30s. With no prior experience, she began with just 100 per month minus cost index fund. Despite occasional outside market downturns, she stayed disciplined and never stopped contributing. By age 55, her portfolio had grown to over 300,000, a testament to the power of consistent, disciplined investing. Maria's journey reminds us that anyone can become a successful investor with the right mindset and approach. As Peter Lynch, legendary investor and former manager of the Magellan Fund, said, "Know what you own, and know why you own it. Always invest in what you understand and believe in." Investing wisely is not about getting rich quick. It's about building wealth steadily and securely. By mastering the basics, overcoming fear, and creating a personalized plan, you're positioning yourself for long-term success. Remember, the best investment you can make is in yourself. Educate yourself continuously, stay patient, and trust the process. As Warren Buffett famously advised, "Do not lose money. Protect your capital, diversify your holdings, and let time work in your favor." Chapter 4. Balancing Wealth and Happiness. Wealth alone doesn't guarantee happiness. In fact, many wealthy individuals find themselves unfulfilled despite their financial success. So, how do you strike the perfect balance between building wealth and living a meaningful, joyful life? In this chapter, we'll explore why money can't buy true fulfillment, how to align your finances with your values, and practical ways to cultivate gratitude and contentment. By the end, you'll have actionable strategies to live a richer life, not just in terms of money, but in purpose and happiness. 1. Why money can't buy true fulfillment. Let's face it, society often equates wealth with success, but research tells a different story. Studies consistently show that beyond a certain income threshold, around $75,000 per year in most countries, additional money has diminishing returns on happiness. What truly matters are relationships, health, personal growth, and a sense of purpose. Take the example of John, a successful entrepreneur who built a multi-million-dollar business. On paper, he had everything: luxury cars, a sprawling mansion, and exotic vacations. Yet, he felt empty inside. His relentless pursuit of wealth left little room for family, friends, or hobbies. It wasn't until he suffered a heart attack at age 45 that he realized something was missing. John's story isn't unique. Many high achievers fall into the trap of chasing material success without considering what truly brings them joy. As psychologist Abraham Maslow famously explained in his hierarchy of needs, self-actualization, the desire to fulfill one's potential, is the pinnacle of human motivation. Money might help meet basic needs like food and shelter, but it can't satisfy deeper desires for connection, creativity, and meaning. As Mahatma Gandhi wisely said, "The world has enough for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed." This quote reminds us that true happiness comes from living simply, connecting deeply with others, and contributing to the greater good. To avoid falling into the same trap as John, ask yourself, what does a fulfilling life look like for me? Write down 3 non-materialistic goals, things like spending quality time with loved ones, learning a new skill, or volunteering for a cause you care about. Then, design your financial plan around these priorities. 2. Aligning your finances with your values. Once you've identified what truly matters to you, it's time to align your spending and saving habits with those values. Too often, people spend money on things that don't bring lasting satisfaction because they're influenced by societal pressures or fleeting emotions. For instance, imagine someone splurging on designer clothes or expensive gadgets to impress others. While these purchases may provide temporary pleasure, they rarely contribute to long-term happiness. Instead, focus on allocating resources toward experiences and activities that enrich your life. Here's an exercise to help you realign your finances. 1. List your top 3 values, e.g., family, travel, health. 2. Review your recent expenses and categorize them into aligned, supporting your values, and misaligned, not supporting your values. 3. Adjust your budget to prioritize aligned spending. For example, if travel is important to you, set aside money each month for future trips instead of buying unnecessary items. This concept is beautifully summarized by author David Bach, who wrote, "Your lifestyle is a reflection of your values. When your financial decisions reflect what matters most to you, you'll feel more fulfilled and less stressed about money." A real-life example of this principle in action is Sarah, a schoolteacher who prioritized her passion for photography. Instead of upgrading her car or renovating her home, she invested in a high-quality camera and photography courses. Over time, her hobby turned into a side business, allowing her to fund dream vacations while doing something she loved. Sarah's journey highlights an important truth. When you spend money on things that align with your passions and values, you create a life filled with purpose and joy. 3. Practicing gratitude and contentment. In a world obsessed with more, practicing gratitude and contentment is revolutionary. These qualities help you appreciate what you already have, reducing the urge to constantly chase external validation through material possessions. Research shows that grateful individuals tend to be happier, healthier, and more financially responsible. They're less likely to engage in impulsive spending and more likely to save for the future. So, how can you cultivate gratitude in your daily life? Start with a simple habit. Every evening before bed, write down 3 things you're thankful for related to your finances. It could be as basic as having a steady income, enjoying a home-cooked meal, or receiving support from loved ones during tough times. Over time, this practice will shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Another powerful technique is mindfulness. Take a few minutes each day to reflect on the present moment without judgment. Ask yourself, am I using my resources in ways that bring me peace and joy? This awareness can help you make smarter, more intentional decisions. As Melody Beattie, author of The Language of Letting Go, puts it, gratitude turns what we have into enough. When you learn to appreciate the blessings in your life, you'll find that you need far less to feel satisfied. To amplify the benefits of gratitude, consider sharing your abundance with others. Philanthropy doesn't require massive wealth. You can start small by donating to local charities, supporting friends in need, or volunteering your time. Giving back not only strengthens communities but also deepens your own sense of fulfillment. Balancing wealth and happiness is about more than just earning and saving, it's about living intentionally. By understanding the limitations of money, aligning your finances with your values, and cultivating gratitude, you can create a life rich in meaning and joy. Remember, true wealth isn't measured by the size of your bank account, it's measured by the depth of your relationships, the richness of your experiences, and the impact you leave on the world. As Maya Angelou once said, "You are the sum total of everything you've ever seen, heard, eaten, smelled, been told, forgot. It's all there." Everything influences each of us, and because of that, I try to make sure that my experiences are positive. Chapter 5. Lessons from Real-Life Success Stories. There's nothing more inspiring than hearing how real people have overcome challenges, made smart financial decisions, and transformed their lives. In this chapter, we'll explore two powerful case studies of individuals who turned their financial struggles into success stories. These examples will not only motivate you but also provide practical lessons you can apply to your own journey. By the end of this chapter, you'll walk away with actionable insights and renewed confidence in your ability to achieve financial independence and happiness. 1. Case Study 1. From Debt to Freedom, the story of Alex. Let's begin with Alex, a young professional who found himself drowning in debt after years of living beyond his means. At the age of 28, Alex had accumulated over $50,000 in credit card debt and student loans. His monthly payments were eating up nearly half of his income, leaving him stressed and overwhelmed. At first, Alex felt trapped. He believed there was no way out of his financial mess. But one day, while listening to a podcast about personal finance, he heard a phrase that changed everything. "You don't have to be rich to start, but you have to start to be rich." Inspired, Alex decided to take control of his finances. Here's how he did it. Step 1. Facing reality. Alex started by listing all his debts, along with their interest rates and minimum payments. This gave him a clear picture of his situation. Though it was painful to confront the numbers, Alex knew he couldn't solve a problem he refused to acknowledge. As Dave Ramsey, a renowned financial expert, says, "A budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went." Alex created a strict budget, cutting out unnecessary expenses like dining out, cable TV, and luxury purchases. Every dollar he saved went toward paying off his debts. Step 2. Using the debt snowball method. To stay motivated, Alex adopted the debt snowball method, which involves paying off debts from smallest to largest balance. While tackling his smallest debt first didn't save him the most money on interest, it gave him quick wins that kept him going. For example, Alex paid off a $2,000 credit card balance within 3 months. Celebrating this small victory fueled his determination to tackle the next debt. Over time, he built momentum, eventually paying off his largest loan, a $20,000 student loan, within 5 years. Step 3. Building wealth through discipline. Once Alex became debt-free, he shifted his focus to building wealth. He opened a retirement account, started investing in index funds, and built an emergency fund. Today, at 35, Alex has a net worth of over $150,000 and enjoys the peace of mind that comes with financial security. Alex's story teaches us that freedom from debt is possible with discipline and persistence. As he often reflects, "The hardest part was getting started, but once I committed, every step felt easier." 2. Case Study 2. Building Generational Wealth, the story of Maria. Next, let's meet Maria, a single mother who not only achieved financial independence for herself but also created generational wealth for her family. When Maria's husband passed away unexpectedly, she was left to raise 2 children on a modest income. Despite the challenges, she vowed to give her kids opportunities she never had. Maria's journey began with a simple goal: to save $1,000 for emergencies. She worked tirelessly, picking up extra shifts and selling handmade crafts online to reach her target. Once she had her safety net, she focused on long-term growth. Step 1. Educating herself about investing. Maria had no prior experience with investing, so she immersed herself in learning. She read books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki and listened to podcasts about financial literacy. Armed with knowledge, she opened a brokerage account and started investing in low-cost index funds. Her strategy was simple yet effective: invest consistently, regardless of market conditions. Even during economic downturns, Maria stuck to her plan, knowing that patience would pay off in the long run. Step 2. Creating multiple income streams. In addition to her day job, Maria launched a side business teaching sewing classes. She reinvested her profits into rental properties, which provided passive income. Over time, these investments grew significantly, allowing her to retire early at age 50. Today, Maria's children are financially secure thanks to her efforts. She established a trust fund for their education and invested in assets that generate ongoing income. Her legacy extends beyond money. It includes the values of hard work, resilience, and generosity she instilled in her family. Maria's story reminds us that building generational wealth isn't just about accumulating assets. It's about creating opportunities for future generations. As Warren Buffett famously said, "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving." Maria lived this principle, ensuring her family's prosperity for decades to come. 3. Takeaways for your own journey. These stories aren't just inspiring, they're packed with lessons you can apply to your own life. Let's break them down. Lesson 1. Start small, stay consistent. Both Alex and Maria began with modest goals. Whether it was paying off a small debt or saving $1,000, they proved that progress doesn't require perfection, it requires persistence. Lesson 2. Face challenges head on. Neither Alex nor Maria ignored their problems. Instead, they confronted their fears and took action. Remember, awareness is the first step toward change. Lesson 3. Leverage education and discipline. Maria's success stemmed from her commitment to learning. Similarly, Alex's disciplined approach to debt repayment transformed his financial future. Invest in your knowledge and stay consistent with your efforts. Lesson 4. Think long-term. Both individuals prioritized long-term benefits over short-term pleasures. They delayed gratification, focusing on goals that would improve their lives and their families for years to come. Lesson 5. Build multiple income streams. Maria's decision to diversify her income sources highlights the importance of financial resilience. Don't rely solely on one paycheck. Explore side hustles, investments, or entrepreneurial ventures to create stability. As Tony Robbins once said, "Success leaves clues." By studying the habits and strategies of successful people, you can replicate their results in your own life. Closing thoughts for Chapter 5. Real-life success stories remind us that financial transformation is possible for anyone willing to put in the effort. Whether you're struggling with debt, dreaming of generational wealth, or simply seeking greater stability, these examples show that smart decisions and perseverance lead to extraordinary outcomes. Remember, your journey doesn't have to look exactly like Alex's or Maria's. What matters is taking the first step, staying committed, and believing in your ability to succeed. As Oprah Winfrey wisely said, "The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams." Chapter 6. Actionable steps to start today. Now that you've gained valuable insights into the psychology of money, built strong financial foundations, learned to invest wisely, balanced wealth with happiness, and drawn inspiration from real-life success stories, it's time to take action. Knowledge is powerful, but its true value lies in application. In this final chapter, we'll outline specific steps you can start implementing today to transform your financial future. By committing to these actions, you'll move closer to achieving your goals, solving your problems, and creating a life filled with purpose and abundance. 1. Step 1. Assess your current situation. The first step toward financial transformation is understanding where you stand right now. Without clarity, it's impossible to create an effective plan. Here's how to assess your financial situation. Track your income and expenses. For 1 month, write down every dollar you earn and spend. Use apps like Mint or Inab. You need a budget to simplify the process. Categorize your expenses into needs, wants, and savings. This exercise will reveal patterns and areas for improvement. As financial expert Susie Orman advises, look at your money as a tool to achieve your dreams. By tracking your spending, you'll gain control over your finances and ensure your money supports your goals. Evaluate your debts. List all your debts, including balances, interest rates, and minimum payments. Prioritize paying off high-interest debts first while maintaining minimum payments on others. Consider using strategies like the debt snowball or avalanche method, depending on what motivates you most. Check your credit score. Your credit score plays a critical role in securing loans, renting apartments, and even landing jobs. Obtain a free report from websites like annualcreditreport.com and review it for errors. If necessary, take steps to improve your score by paying bills on time and reducing credit card balances. Take stock of your assets. Identify what you own: savings accounts, investments, retirement funds, real estate, etc. Knowing your net worth, assets minus liabilities, provides a snapshot of your financial health and helps you set realistic goals. Step 2. Set smart financial goals. Once you understand your current situation, it's time to define clear objectives. Setting vague goals like save more or get out of debt won't get you far. Instead, use the SMART framework. Specific, clearly define what you want to achieve. For example, instead of saying, I want to save money, specify, I want to save $10,000 for a down payment on a house. Measurable, ensure your goal has quantifiable metrics so you can track progress. Achievable, set ambitious yet realistic targets based on your income and expenses. Relevant, make sure your goals align with your values and priorities. Time-bound, assign deadlines to create urgency and accountability. Here's an example of a SMART goal. I will save $5,000 for an emergency fund within the next 12 months by setting aside $417 per month. By breaking larger goals into smaller milestones, you'll stay motivated and celebrate each achievement along the way. Step 3. Commit to consistent progress. Financial success doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of consistent effort over time. Here's how to stay disciplined and keep moving forward. Automate your finances. Set up automatic transfers to savings accounts, investment portfolios, and bill payments. Automation ensures you prioritize important financial activities without relying on willpower alone. Review your progress regularly. Schedule monthly check-ins to evaluate your progress toward your goals. Adjust your budget or strategy if needed, but avoid making impulsive changes based on short-term emotions. Celebrate small wins. Acknowledge every milestone, no matter how small. Paid off a credit card? Treat yourself to a nice dinner, within reason. Reached a savings goal? Take a moment to reflect on your hard work. Celebrating wins reinforces positive behaviors and keeps you motivated. Stay educated and inspired. Continue learning about personal finance through books, podcasts, and courses. Surround yourself with people who share your commitment to financial growth. As Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Choose your influences wisely. Taking action is the bridge between dreaming and achieving. By assessing your current situation, setting SMART goals, and committing to consistent progress, you're laying the groundwork for lasting financial success. Remember, every journey begins with a single step. Whether it's saving $50 this month, reading a finance book, or starting a side hustle, the key is to start, and then keep going. As Zig Ziglar once said, "Success is not measured by what you accomplish, but by the opposition you have encountered and the courage with which you have maintained the struggle against overwhelming odds." You now possess the tools, knowledge, and inspiration to master the art of wealth and happiness. The rest is up to you. Believe in yourself, stay patient, and trust the process. Conclusion of the audiobook. Let's briefly summarize the core lessons from this audiobook. Understand the psychology of money. Recognize how emotions and beliefs influence your financial decisions. Build strong foundations, create a budget, save smartly, and eliminate debt traps. Invest wisely, leverage compound interest, diversify your portfolio, and stay disciplined. Balance wealth and happiness. Align your finances with your values and practice gratitude. Learn from success stories. Draw inspiration from real-life examples of resilience and determination. Take action today, assess your situation, set smart goals, and commit to consistent progress. These principles form the blueprint for mastering both wealth and happiness. Now that you've absorbed these insights, I challenge you to put them into practice. Start small, stay consistent, and watch as your efforts compound over time. Remember, financial independence isn't a destination, it's a journey. Every decision you make brings you closer to the life you desire. As Tony Robbins reminds us, it's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, it's what we do consistently. Let consistency be your guiding principle as you navigate this path. Thank you for joining me on this transformative journey. If this audiobook has inspired or empowered you, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to Wisdom Audiobooks. Your support helps us reach more people and continue creating valuable content. Together, let's build a community dedicated to wisdom, growth, and prosperity. Until next time, remember, your wisdom journey starts here.